Finally, some good news to kick off tonight's broadcast. Metro Manila inches closer to achieving herd immunity or having 70 to 90% of its adult population fully vaccinated. As of September 15, 6 out of 10 NCR adults have gotten the full dose requirement.
As early as October, government eyes complete inoculation for 80% of adults in Metro Manila. The hope is that by December, 90% of the population will have been fully vaccinated, paving the way for herd immunity. Good evening, I'm Gretchen Ho.
And I'm Edlin Gao. You're watching The Big Story. As the capital inches closer to herd immunity, the private sector hopes that will pave the way for a further reopening of the economy by next month.
On their wish list for Christmas is a possible easing to alert level 1 in NCR by the last stretch of the year. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro with The Big Story.
With vaccination rates improving sharply in Metro Manila, officials are hoping for a major reopening of the economy by next month. According to MMDA Chairman Ben-Hur Abalos, more than 6 out of 10 Metro Manila adults have already gotten their full dose of COVID-19 vaccines. As of September 15, almost 9 out of every 10 Metro Manila adults have already gotten at least one dose, with their second dose expected by mid-October.
Hopefully, with the second dose, we will be hitting 79.3 or almost 80% of all of Metro Manila. That is about 7.8 million. At naka-reserve na yan kay Sec Beans.
Metro Manila mayors are hoping that the rising vaccination numbers would lead to a further easing of restrictions in Metro Manila. The Department of Health earlier hoped to vaccinate at least 70% of the population to hit what is called herd immunity. That's the vaccination level at which the virus would no longer be able to spread efficiently. But the appearance of the more infectious Delta variant forced health officials to aim for a higher goal of 90%. Abalos said NCR could easily hit that number by December.
Halos 90% na tayo. The whole country, ito na pinaka-most vaccinated region. Kaya dito po ginawa itong experiment na ito, itong pilot na ito.
Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion hopes that in the last quarter of 2021, NCR will be placed under Alert Level 1, which allows all establishments to operate at full capacity.
Because this is when our entrepreneurs try to recover all what they've lost in the beginning of the year.
I'm Jacob Lazaro and we are One News.
To discuss the latest on the country's COVID-19 vaccination efforts, we have with us Dr. Ronjin Solante, member of the Vaccine Expert Panel. Good evening, Dr. Solante, and welcome to The Big Story.
Good evening, Ed. Good evening to our viewers.
Yeah. Doc, let's start off with the most basic po. Ano po ba yung target natin, 70 or 90? Kasi the last we heard, parang gusto ng DOH going 90, but we're not sure if that was ever a policy.
Yeah, the target is really as high as 90% because the threat of the Delta variant has changed our herd immunity to that level, because the efficacy of some vaccine has been reduced because of the Delta variant. That's why we have to adjust the herd immunity population to as high as 90 or even higher than 90%.
Even higher than 90%. That's really pushing it further up. Doc, I suppose you heard the story kanina. Businessmen and LGUs are really hopeful in Metro Manila. Now we're nearing, well, kung hindi na 70, at least lumalapit tayo ng konti sa 90. And at the same time, they're hoping na magbubukas tayo ng kaunti pa by next month. Ano po prognosis niyo?
Yeah, because that's really our objective, to vaccinate as many as adults as possible in a short period of time before the end of the year, so that we can also balance that the economy should also slowly open up, because what's really suffering now is the economy. But we should not forget also that our healthcare facility until now is full, and hopefully with more people vaccinated, with less people going into the hospital, then that's something that we are expecting at the end of the year.
Yes, Doc. Kasi sanga-sanga nga yan, di ba? The more, like you said, the more vaccinated, the less critical cases you will have, the freer the hospitals will be. So, realistically speaking, we don't want to raise expectations too much, but realistically speaking, is it possible or likely that we can have a freer economy by next month? At least in NCR.
I'm not so hopeful for next month, but probably November or December, I think but the pace that we're going in now, hopefully by November or December, we can achieve an even higher than a 70% vaccination rate in Metro Manila.
Okay, something to look forward to. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Ronjin Solante, member of the Vaccine Expert Panel. Doc, maraming salamat po. The road to herd immunity comes at a crucial juncture when COVID cases are not slowing down. According to the University of the Philippines COVID-19 pandemic response team, that might reach another grim milestone. Tonight's big number, 3 million COVID-19 cases by mid-October. That's the projection of the UP team. Total infections are now at 2.3 million with more than 20,000 new cases today. The UP team sees infections peaking some more by the end of the month or early October before eventually tapering off. Recall that the health department earlier projected as much as 43,000 cases in a single day in NCR alone by month end.
These are the other big stories tonight. This early into the pilot testing of the alert level system in Metro Manila, NCR mayors are bullish that restrictions will be eased once more come October. Senator Richard Gordon claps back at President Duterte, calling him a cheap politician. The chief executive's longtime aide came to the president's defense, dubbing the blue ribbon hearings as nothing but political circus. And after the BIR launched its clampdown on tax-delinquent top-earning influencers, a group of social media personalities say they are ready to work with the taxman in professionalizing the industry. These big stories after the break.
Good evening. You're still watching The Big Story. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Gretchen Ho. It's so far so good for establishments in Metro Manila as activity increases following the shift to alert level system.
But business owners are still hopeful that the government would allow more capacity in the coming weeks. JC Cosico with the story.
A day after easing restrictions due to the Alert Level 4 status placed under Metro Manila, people wasted no time flocking malls. Case in point, this mall in Quezon City.
Kampante kami na medyo safe kasi fully vaccinated yung makakahalubilo namin. Pero kailangan pa rin mag-ingat, doble ingat pa rin po.
Restaurant owners hope more customers will come in soon. Under Level 4, food establishments are allowed to operate at a limited capacity for their dine-in services, and a vaccination card has to be presented. This restaurant used to accommodate up to 120 seating customers, but it's been limited to 12 at a time.
Alam naman din po ng mga ibang customers yung guidelines po na kailangan nila i-present yung vaccine card before dining in po. And then yung mga wala pa pong full dose or kahit walang vaccine pa po, ina-assist namin sila sa alfresco area po namin.
Salon owners like Daniela welcome the shift, opting to make adjustments. Her many outdoor salon has all the equipment for hair services.
Set up na lang ako para at least kung meron man, hindi ko mapapapasok sa salon since hindi siya vaccinated. Sa labas talaga kami.
This salon in Timog, Quezon City is also preparing its outdoor services, tents were placed for haircuts, manicure, pedicure, and foot spa. Air coolers will also be installed for comfort. Outdoor services will only be available from 6 to 9 a.m. and 4 to 9 p.m. to avoid direct sunlight exposure. While salon owners and employees welcome this development, they hope that restrictions will be eased soon.
Sana naman medyo luwag-luwagan ng konti. Siguro kahit mga 50% pwede ito.
Sana magkaroon ng mas malinaw na guidelines. Kung pwede yung outdoor, why not pwede na lang open door? Kasi at least yung air nagsisirculate din within the salon.
For News 5, JC Cosico, VR1 News.
While movement Movement has eased for these small businesses. Some areas in NCR have to undergo heavier restrictions. According to the Interior Department, 57 sites in the capital have been placed under granular lockdown that covers all Metro Manila cities. NCR mayors are targeting a downgrade to Alert Level 3 by October should the pilot testing run smoothly.
Kung maging successful tayo dito, hopefully, bumaba sana ng one level para naman mas lalong lumuwang ang ekonomiya at of course, mas maraming ma-unclog natin mga pasyente sa ospital.
In other news, the BIR has begun its crackdown on social media influencers. But an industry group says just because someone has a lot of subscribers does not automatically mean that they are cashing in. Pam Vasquez with the story.
Bakit namin dinilit yung YouTube channel namin? Kasi
babalik na.
napaka-illogical mga kaigan. Hindi namin sugarcoat, ganito kasi yan mga kaigan. Tagal na kaming nagiging toxic ng mga panahong yun. Parang...
That was popular vlogger couple Jayza Manabat and Camille Trinidad, more popularly known as Jamil. When they deleted their YouTube channel last month, people speculated that it was because the BIR was going after social media stars. Fast forward to this week, the BIR said it has issued letters to 250 influencers to check if they've been paying correct taxes. The names have not been revealed, though an industry group says none of its members has received the letter.
When we checked with our influencers, wala naman as of yesterday nagsabi na meron silang natanggap.
Lim says the whole reason CICP was created was to professionalize the industry, which includes helping members comply with laws. But they also want the BIR to hear them out and have even sent a memo asking to work hand in hand with the agency.
What we don't want is a mindset na porke mataas ang subscribers mo, automatic malaki ang kinikita, which is not the case.
Per BIR's rules, anyone who earns income online, whether in cash or in kind, should be registered either as self-employed or sole proprietor. And the computation for their taxes includes the free products that they get in exchange for their endorsement.
The sanction is 6 to 10 years imprisonment with 500,000 to 10 million pesos fine. That is on top of the tax due and the interest surcharges.
Still, experts agree the digital economy presents a challenge to the BIR. It may be difficult to trace exactly how much someone earned just on social media alone. Not to mention, people have found many other ways to make money online.
Remember, there's also this cryptocurrency, digital assets, even offshore accounts.
The government is now also looking into a digital transactions tax, which will impact those who buy and sell online. I'm Pamela Vasquez and we are One News.
For the big story in sports, female powerlifter Joyce Reboton is out to show the world the strength of a Filipina. But as she competes against the world's best, she will be needing all the support that she can get. A look at how you can be a part of her journey in my report. Another female lifter is out to bring glory to the Philippines. Meet Joyce Gail Reboton. The 29-year-old Kapampangan started out as a CrossFit coach but fell in love with lifting heavy iron. She powered her way through and became the country's top power lifter.
Noong 2014, nag-start talaga ako mag-CrossFit, mag-workout. Gusto ko magpapayat. Tapos, in-invite ako ng partner ko, si Willard Capulong, na mag-compete sa local na powerlifting meet. Sa first competition ko, naka-medal na ako kaagad.
She has already bagged gold and silver in the Asian Powerlifting Championships. Joyce even holds the Asian record for squat, deadlift, and total in the Women's Open Classic under 84 kilogram category.
Nung first time ko kasi nag-compete, tapos napatugtog yung lupang hinirang, nahawak ko yung flag, parang nakakaiyak na, oy, meron akong nagawang something good for the country.
Now, Joyce is bent on competing in the World Classic Powerlifting Championships in Sweden next month, but funding is getting in the way. Unlike weightlifting, powerlifting is not yet an official Olympic sport.
We are planning to send four powerlifters. PSC has been funding us since 1992. But of course, we recognize may limitations naman yan. Hindi naman lahat ng gusto naming puntahan mabibigay.
But Joyce and her team are not giving up. To raise funds, they've started selling coffee online and even a public funding campaign.
Nakakapag-uwi ako ng medal, nakakapag-serve ako sa country natin, or nakakapag-represent ako ng maayos, pero hindi ko kasing pareho ng privilege yung mga ibang sport.
The fundraiser will help send both Joyce and her coach to the competition. Just like her inspiration Hayden Diaz, Joyce will need all the help she can get to get the gold.
Para po sa mga gusto mag-donate or gusto magdagdag para dun sa kailangan naming amount, pwede po silang magpunta sa Facebook account ko. Meron pinned post doon sa Joyce Gail Reboton.
Gretchen Ho, We Are One News.
Good news to all Signal subscribers. With some channels leaving on October 1, Signal is adding 11 new and exciting channels so that your TV experience will be more awesome. These new channels are Tagalay's Movie Channel, Lotus Macau, Tap TV, UAAP Varsity Channel HD, DreamWorks SD and HD, Tap Movies SD and HD, Tap Action Flicks HD, Premier Sports HD, and Moonbug Kids. All channels can be enjoyed on open viewing this September until October 15. Open to new and active prepaid and postpaid subscribers only. For more details, please visit signal.tv or follow Signal on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Time for another quick break. When we return, the word war shows no signs of abating as Senator Gordon calls President Duterte a cheap politician. And rapper Nicki Minaj just got a memo from the White House. They want to educate the pop star after a controversial tweet claimed unfounded vaccine side effects. The details after the break.
Good evening. You're still watching The Big Story. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Gretchen Ho. Senator Richard Gordon claps back at the president once more. He questioned why the chief executive seems to be siding with those linked to Farmally.
But the president's longtime aide, Senator Bongo, says the president did not in any way favor Michael Yang. Mayan Los Baños with the details.
I am really sorry for you, Mr. President. Ang pinagtatanggal nyo si Lau, may utang na loob kayo dahil sa eleksyon. You are a cheap politician, Mr. President.
This was Senator Richard Gordon's take on President Duterte as the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee resumed its hearing on the government's procurement of overpriced medical supplies. Gordon asked the president why he continuously defends the people behind this issue.
Bakit sa umpisa pa lang nagtatago na kayo? Ayaw niyong pakinggan ng tao ang investigasyon ng COA? Ayaw niyong pakinggan ang investigasyon ng Senado? Napapaaso po ba kayo?
He also advised President Duterte to cooperate with Senate instead of protecting those involved.
Bakit niyo pagtatanggol yan? Di niyo ba pwedeng sabihin niyo, oy, ilabas niyo ang katotohanan. Papakagat ko kayo kay Dracula at para mamatay kayo, marami kayong dugong hinutkot sa Pilipino.
However, Senator Bongo defended the president, saying that Duterte is not protecting nor favoring anyone.
Yung pinagpipilitang Farmally na yan, wala po kaming kinalaman ni Pangulong Duterte dyan. Yariin niya na po. kasuhan niyo na po kung may kasalanan. Hindi po sila pinagtatanggol ng Pangulo. Ang ayaw niya po ay yung pilit na inuugnay, tinitwist ang katotohanan at pinipilit na inuugnay sa kanya.
Go also insists that President Duterte never gave favor to Michael Yang's transactions even if the president knows him. During the hearing, Gordon also bared that several formerly executives allegedly acquired luxury cars after bagging the COVID-19 supply procurement contracts with the government. Formerly Director Lincoln Ong, for one, owns 2 Porsche and Lexus cars, which each costs millions.
Tatlo yan, panay luxury cars. Nakarehistro sa LTO. Ewan ko kung na-check na ng BIR yung mga tao yan. Na madaling sabi, sa suma total po, talagang nagpapasasa talaga itong mga taong ito.
Aside from Ong, other formerly officials Mohit Dargani and Twinkle Dargani also reportedly own luxury cars worth millions of pesos. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
The president's daughter has also confirmed that she is still keen on running as Davao City Mayor for a 3rd term. During a vaccination site visit with Senator Win Gatchalian, the younger Duterte confirmed that she will seek re-election in her hometown, together with brother Baste Duterte as her running mate. Recall that her spokesperson, Liloan Mayor Cristina Frasco, said Inday Sara is gunning for another term in Davao City.
Very hypothetical, no, kung pag-usapan natin yung November, yung December. Basta ang sigurado lang ngayon is that kung ano yung sinabi ni Mayor Cristina Frasco, I can confirm that.
Meanwhile, Vice President Leni Robredo says she may go for a presidential bid if a united opposition chooses her as their bet. 2 weeks before the filing of candidacy, the VP says she is still hoping that the opposition will stand under a united ticket. And here are other big stories from around the world. Time magazine has released its list of this year's 100 most influential people in the world. Some notable names included in the Time 100 are Britain's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, US President Joe Biden, Billie Eilish, Simon Biles, and Naomi Osaka. Other prominent scientists, politicians, and artists made it to the list. More than half of this year's most influential people are women. The 2022 Guinness World Records is also out, containing some of its most unusual records yet. Among the new title holders is US's Zion Clark, setting the fastest record for walking 20 meters on his hands. The latest edition also recorded the world's tallest bodybuilder, fastest 5-meter on a scooter by a dog and a cat, and tallest teenager in the world, and the most skips over a person's own hair. Why would you want to do that?
Another big story in sports. In the PBA, the Magnolia Hotshots executed a final play to near perfection to come out victorious over the Northport Batang Pier 90-89. Calvin Abueva nailed the game-winning basket to complete Magnolia's comeback from 17 down. The win sends the Hotshots to the quarterfinals. For the second game, the San Miguel Beermen bounced back with a dominating win over the Phoenix Fuel Masters 110-80. With the win, San Miguel booked their playoff ticket with a 6-3 record, while 9th place Phoenix dropped to the brink of elimination with a 4-7 slate. For the third game of the night, the Alaska Aces had a convincing 89-75 win over Barangay Ginebra. The Gin Kings are now at 4-6 in the standings, while Alaska moves to 3-4 as the race for the final playoff spot heats up.
Nikki, over here. Boom, ba-doom, boom, boo-boo. Nicki Minaj just made a ballsy claim that COVID-19 vaccines cause impotence and swollen testicles. In a tweet, Nicki cited an unverified story of her cousin's friend and encouraged her 22.7 million followers to be comfortable with their decision. She even declined her Met Gala invitation, as the event required attendees to be fully vaccinated against COVID. Nicki said she'll only get the jab after doing enough research, but her pronouncements did not sit well with the general public. It even reached the White House, and his doctors offered to educate her about vaccine safety and effectiveness. In response, Nikki tweeted that she'll be going in all pink, like Legally Blonde, to show that she means business. But alas, that would be unnecessary, as the White House don't want none. The discussion would only take place via call, even if Nikki wants more. The rapper later on said that she will get jabbed to be able to tour. Nick Garcia, We Are One News.
As the proverb goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And that's what an entrepreneur just did as he repurposed COVID vaccine containers from warehouses into housing materials. Bon Aga just spearheaded a housing project in Marikina City with fellow businessmen and government agencies. This house is made of 6 Sinovac containers, finished in just a week. With many more containers available, Bon said constructing 500 more houses is plausible. A beneficiary is more than thankful, especially that he lost his house during Typhoon Ulysses last year.
Wala na akong masyadong problema. Hanap buhay na lang po ang kailangan. Pagkain sa araw-araw.
Kung itatapon naman natin, na alam niyo naman na ang styro, hindi siya biodegradable. So makakasira sa ating kalikasan to. Nagkaroon na solusyonan na yung disposal, garbage disposal, nakatulong pa tayo sa kapwa natin na bilang pabahay.
Galing ano?
That's interesting. It's styrofoam. I thought it was a container van, like metal.
Paano kaya kung binagyo?
Oh, o kaya pag may magyosi. Hindi, you know what's worse? Alam mo yung acetone, yung pag nagpapalinis ka ng kuko,
Sunog na
matapunan
kagad
ng acetone yun, matutunaw yung styrofoam.
Teka, baka naman meron silang nilagay na lacquer paint or something, di ba? Pero...
Matutunaw sa lacquer.
ay, baliktad. Hindi, parang feeling ko maganda rin isipan yung face shield. Paano gagawin, no? Pag natapos na.
Face shield, pwede.
Di ba? Pag nadidispose na natin. So, isipin nyo na yan. Well, that wraps up today's big story. Catch us again Monday at 8 p.m. on Signal, channels 8 and 250.
Please like our Facebook page, One News. For more in-depth analysis, visit our webpage, onenews.ph. Mask on.
Wash hands.
And stay safe, Philippines. I'm Edwin Gao.
And I'm Gretchen O. We are One News. Have a good evening.